I believe that it can be even better later on, and that I think this love is going to be what she deserved all along.
See, if there's a season 2, they should just call you.
Come on.
Please, let's
I'm
have
2
a season
seasons
2.
behind. I know yesterday was the season finale, so I got to catch up tonight.
It's good. When people come up to you on the street talking at pictures, like, and people recognize you, is it mostly, you know, from like, is it from I Can See Your Voice, The Real, or is it like the Cheetah Girls, or even like, you know, you were on the Kardashians for a hot minute? Is it one thing over another?
Crazy enough, I just went to an event with my husband, a church event with like these incredible singers, and they were like, I Can See Your Voice. And I was like, wait, what? I think singers love the show I Can See Your Voice because it's a challenge for them, and at the same time they're like, I should be good at this, I should know. So I met some of my gospel artist heroes, and they were like, I'm always telling my wife when we watch the show, that's Israel's wife. And I was like, that's pretty awesome. So there's that. It just depends on the group. I feel like if I'm in an age group of more the 30s like myself, it's 3LW. If it's like the 20s and the TikTok folks, it's all Cheetah Girls. Yeah.
It just depends. And I'm horrible at guessing on I Can See. I mean, I just can't. I'm like, I'm so bad at this.
Really? I feel like you'd be good.
I'm good, but then I go through like just weeks of just get it together, David.
Do you sit on the edge of your chair and you're like, okay, okay, and then they open their mouths and you're like, no, what's your reaction?
Just like that, because it's so like, man, you can't listen. I think like after the success of like a show like The Masked Singer, I'm like, this show is so brilliant. Like it makes so much sense. Like, where have these 2 shows been?
I know. And what I love so much is that it's not the type of show that like, if you've missed an episode, you've got to watch from the top of the season. Every episode starts with an incredible challenge, the mystery, the sitting on the edge of your chair. And then by the time it ends, you've completed the mystery. Everything has been solved. And I love that. I love a good wraparound. And when you finish watching, you're like, okay.
It's fun to see like the different guests, to your point, like who gets really competitive and who takes this really seriously. Like a Kelly Osbourne.
Kelly Rowland was like really invested. Kelly Rowland got a little crazy with it. Like she was like, what just happened? Like she was blown away by some of the moments, because there were some people that she was so sure were great singers. And then she was like, what? Like her episode was definitely a doozy.
It just shows you like, don't judge a book by its cover, right? It's just, it's like, it really is a deep show. Like people.
Absolutely.
What about, speaking of all these things people recognize you on, I'm going to have to ask, I mean, you do cover current topics on The Real. What do you think of Kim and Pete Davidson?
What do I think of them?
Like as a match?
I feel like she seems happy. And so I'm like, bravo. Like I'm always for someone's happiness. Pete, I've got to be honest, I think he's cute. I am the kind of girl that totally falls for funny. I love a guy with a dope personality, funny, edgy. I love a guy that's going to encourage me to be who I am and is going to kind of let me let my hair down, have some fun. Like he seems like he doesn't care. Like he's not for the Hollywood shenanigans. He's very straightforward. He don't like, and I feel like that energy is just beautiful. So I'm into it.
And he seems like very laid back.
Yeah. Like I feel like he's the kind of guy that if I dated him, that he'd give you like the kind of pep talk that would make you think like I can do anything. Like I feel like he'd be like, girl, stop, like go kill it. You're amazing. And that, first of all, I think Kim deserves that. So yeah, I'm happy for her.
See, this is why you're happily married. You're figuring out like season 2 of like, and just like that, you just, please give me some relationship advice over here.
Marry a guy that makes you laugh. Marry a guy that you actually like. I was just talking to my friend about this. She's like, I don't know, it just seems like love doesn't last. And I was like, well, the in-love experience may not last. That's going to come and go, and there's going to be waves of that. But marry someone that you actually like and that you actually love and that you'd want to be their friend even if you never got married to them. Like this is someone you just want in your life forever. And I think that that's really important. I think we don't put as much, on that. We put things on like, how much money does someone have? What do they look like? Are they a good look when I stand next to them? Do they turn me on? Do I feel butterflies? Is it the hottest, greatest sex of my life hanging off the ceiling? While yes, I would appreciate that. And that is lovely and great. There's so much other things that matter just as much as hanging off the ceiling.
That's
Not more
true.
than, just as much.
That's true. What about, I know you guys just talked about this on The Real. What do you think of Bennifer? Are you here for it?
I was not here for it because similar to the Sarah Jessica Parker thing, I felt like, oh, Ben was the one that broke her heart. And I just wanted her to be like, never again. But we just saw that she did People magazine and she seems to be really happy. And the thing that annoys me is that people are annoyed that she once again is gushing and, you know, putting all their business out there, telling, you know, people don't like that about her, but I'm like, that's who she is. Like, that's genuinely who she is. And I love that Jennifer loves love. And she should be able to enjoy that however she chooses to. Granted, some are saying she could learn her lesson from like the past. I don't think Ben loved that kind of attention as much. But I think she's finding a good balance there. And I'm just happy for her. I love that she's happy.
And like, right, what is wrong with someone that just loves love and can't get enough? Like,
People are mad about it. They're like, why does she have to gush? I'm like, oh, stop being mad. Don't be a hater.
like to have so many things not work out and still have a positive attitude. Isn't that like what we all aspire to be?
I'm like, bravo, girl. You know, they're like, she was just gushing about A-Rod. I'm like, well, sweetie, she's moved on. And here we are.
Maybe you just have to lose the icon, the goddess that is J-Lo, to understand sometimes, like, I've lived all these years now, realizing I had the best thing back then.
Yeah.
I am not letting go.
I was looking at Ben like, what? If you gonna leave J-Lo, none of us have a chance.
I was not here for it either, but I am living for it now.
Yeah.
Listen, I turn to The Real for all of my, you know, that's where I get a lot of my pop culture, what's going on.
Thank you.
You guys cover it all. I mean, speaking of couples too, and then we'll move on. I mean, are you going to be getting an invite to the, you know, Kourtney and Travis wedding?
I would love that. That would be awesome. I just love Kourt so much. Like, she's one of my closest friends, and I just think like her happiness means everything, and she's so happy. And I know that it's hands down going to be the most stunning event of all time. Like, I just know it.
Listen,
So, yeah.
Kris Jenner's involved, so I mean, you can't go wrong, right?
Love them.
What do you love best about your day job on The Real?
What I love most about my day job on The Real, honestly, it's not the pop culture stuff. Like, I know that sound like there's some days when I'm just like, I actually don't care about this at all. Like, I don't care to give my opinion on it. And that's genuine. Like, that's really real. There are days that I'm just like, why, you know, but it is my job. And there are people that want to hear some of the more salacious things, but not my favorite part. My favorite part is when I actually get to share personal stories and hopefully encourage and uplift somebody with things that I've gone through. And in those moments, explain, like, you know, whether it was a heartache that I went through and I had to learn from, and I had to learn that I need to love myself more than I love my significant other, or learning that, like, you know, we hear all of this about fake it till you make it,